Good afternoon. Well, wow, Jennison, that's like following a kid, you know? So I won't try to top Jennison's story, but I'll share my own. I was raised in a two-room schoolhouse in primary school, and my grandmother was my teacher. I belonged to the largest class that had been in Antimony Elementary for a long time. There were 10 kids in the lower grades and 7 in my class. My grandmother was my first librarian. She had a closet full of books that I devoured, every one of them. She taught me to read, and I was an early reader, and therefore I ran out of books fairly quickly. But along came this magical thing on wheels called a Bookmobile, and it was my lifeline. To this very day, I will always advocate for those rural communities and their Bookmobiles, because that Bookmobile, that wonderful library on wheels, brought me Nancy Drew. And being a detective, being Nancy Drew, it really helps as a state superintendent, I'll tell you. When I was 10, my family moved to a community of 14,000. And imagine my excitement when I walked into a school that had a room full of books, dedicated to books, with a person there called a librarian. And the room was called a library. This was such an excitement to me, and I could not wait to dig in and work with this magical person who opened up a whole new world of different genres for me to read. When I attended high school, Mr. Andrus, the school librarian, taught me about multimedia. Now, I'm old enough that meant you took pictures with a camera, a special camera in a magazine, and turned them into slides and put music to it. And that was our PowerPoint of the day, but I just thought it was incredible to be in a dark room with Mr. Andrus and my classmates and learn about how to engage in multimedia. But he also taught me the Dewey Decimal System and taught me about research. And I carried that into college, where I was the first college graduate in my family. So school librarians played such a huge part in my development as a student. But then I became a teacher and a principal, and of course you know how we feel about you in our schools. Now that I'm a state superintendent, I visit schools all the time. It's the joy of my job. And the first thing I ask, may I see the library? Because I believe that the library is truly the culture of the school. You can tell the culture of the school when you walk in a library. It's true. We talk about all these sometimes disconnected but important elements of school, and when you walk into a library, you see a safe place for students. You see and feel joy. You now see it as not only the hub of the school, but sometimes the technology hub, where laptops are checked in and out and plugged in. So your role has changed so much and evolved over the years, but though constant is the care that you have for student learning, and you make all the difference. So today, on my birthday, I can't think of a greater gift than to stand here and tell you thank you. Thank you for your dedication, your service, and the love you have for what you do. I have never met a school librarian who didn't absolutely love his or her job, but love what they do so much. So thank you. And welcome to Utah. Best place for you to be on this beautiful fall day. And I just wish you a great conference and know that you are cheered on by so many. Thank you.